I'm doing it on my bed. Fuck off. Hello. Welcome on back to Comic Conquest, I guess. It's just me, chilling here on my bed. We're gonna have a nice discussion about why Titans Season 3 sucks ass. And it's not for one reason. Now, heavy spoilers, obviously. So I don't know why you're watching this, because I'm sure I'm gonna roast the shit out of it. Now, these are my notes. Don't judge me. I don't really care. First of all, I just want to say that Titans Season 3 may actually be the best of the worst of Titans. That meaning, it might be the best season for some, but it also sucks immensely. There's gross misunderstandings of basic stories and, honestly, storytelling. So, I can't recommend you watch and waste your time. Raven. Raven doesn't show up till after halfway through the season, and even then, she does pretty much jack shit. She pretty much shows up for the sake of showing up and still getting a paycheck. So, yeah. I mean, really, she's only on she's on Themyscira for like all of it until she's not, because she starts using her powers to revive Donna Troy, of which died at the end of season 2. Donna Troy dies, and that's her. Raven's whole arc is dealing with death, and that doesn't actually exist, because that's what it should have been, was Raven dealing with the death of a friend and then coming to terms that they can't revive her. And yet Donna Troy does come back to life for kind of no reason, honestly, other than to have this actress back. So yeah, and I've got a whole thing with death, so not like I like it, I just mean like in the Titans there's a whole thing with, oh god. Now, in a lot of the promotional material leading up to Titans, especially the trailers, there was this big mystery, like, who is the Red Hood? And of course, a lot of people who watch Titans already know what the storylines are. Everybody knows Jason Todd is Red Hood by this point. Jason's become pretty well known through, well, I mean, it's very obvious from the start. Who could it be? Jason leaves at the end of season 2 again. And yeah, but it's marketed as this big mystery, and then every other poster has the Red Hood already revealed. So it's kind of confusing what they wanted to do. Was it supposed to be a mystery? Was it not supposed to be? And I mean, the season starts off with the death of Jason Todd, which is good start. We're already at a good place, killing off Jason Todd. I mean, it's a little rushed, but I think they could have done something with it a little bit more, but they don't. And just to kind of go over the whole point of the death of Jason Todd and Under the Red Hood storyline, the whole point is the moral conundrum of killing the villain, specifically Joker, for Batman. And that's the whole debate, is we've got is Batman going up against his former son, of which was killed by the Joker, and we've got to kind of like double down on the no killing rule. But, you know, if you watched it, you know that they immediately said, screw that, and they had Batman kill the Joker. Now, that really pissed me off at the end of episode 1. This is episode 1. Jason dies. Joker is killed. Alright. There's no moral dilemma. Batman just straight up fucking murders the Joker with a crowbar. Now, I think this is because they couldn't use the Joker specifically. They couldn't cast like a face for him or actually have him as a character. So I think that's where that comes from. But this is the second time they just killed off the Joker. First time was the season finale of season 1, and yeah, and there it kind of made sense. Batman was going off down this dark road of just starting to kill people. And yeah, and there it kind of worked, because it was this moral dilemma, and that was Dick Grayson giving into the darkness, killing Batman eventually. Where this doesn't work is there's no dilemma. Batman just does it because he's really angry, and that kind of goes against Batman. At least in BVS, Batman had lost his way. Although it doesn't make sense why the Joker was still alive in Snyderverse. But I totally think the Red Hood storyline was totally wasted in just making former teammate just go bad. It's kind of lazy, honestly. Speaking of wasted storylines, there are multiple storylines that just kind of show up, like literally within the last 3 episodes. There's a storyline between Blackfire and Superboy, of which is not the worst of these, but is pretty bad. I mean, we're still the show is introducing new storylines and some characters halfway through the season, which is illogical. Is a helicopter. I'm gonna guess a medical helicopter. But it's not a good idea to start introducing things when you're building up to a finale unless there's solutions, starting to be solutions and working towards that. That, I think, is the best way to introduce something, is as a solution. But even then, we've got things introduced would be Oracle. We've got the relationship between Superboy and Blackfire, of which Blackfire is another wasted character. She's not really a villain, although we get some good moments with her, but I don't think she's the best. But Oracle, Blackfire, Raven again, Tim Drake, he's just kind of there, and I mean honestly Scarecrow too. We've got things just kind of happening with no real purpose. Oracle shows up and then is destroyed the next episode, I think, and then they're trying to bring Oracle back because Oracle got hacked. And Oracle's not even Barbara Gordon's alias, it's just an actual computer system, which is really stupid. Barbara Gordon is great, by the way. Yeah, I'll get more into that later. But yeah, Superboy destroys the only way back for Blackfire to get back to Tamaran, and then she's angry at him, and then they're happy with each other immediately afterward. It's so rushed at the end, honestly, and I think that's all I wanted to say about that. I mean, there's Dove. Dove is another wasted character. She's gone by the 3rd episode. I mean, understandably, Hawk and Dove. Hawk is literally blown to frickin' smithereens, so he's dead. And yeah, so they don't show up for the entirety, not even for the finale, which I kind of thought was something Dawn was gonna do, was show up, be a stud. She does not. The real villain, instead of Blackfire and Red Hood like I thought it was going to be, is Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow, in charge of the Red Hood. So Red Hood's not even his own mob boss, even though that's what it seems like. He's taking orders from puny Scarecrow. I mean, Scarecrow is really smart, but honestly, I think they were going to do the Riddler. He's really interested in poems, and he's got all this, and he's doing puzzles, and they keep talking about how Batman used to do the puzzles with Scarecrow, and honestly I think it was supposed to be the Riddler that they had instead of Jonathan Crane, and then they were told they couldn't do the Riddler because of the Batman movie. That would probably explain why. And so they didn't really shift it, and they just added some fear talks in it, and they're like, yeah, look, Red Hood is dealing with PTSD and being scared, so he goes to Crane to find out how to not be scared. And that, I mean, that's pretty good motive. It started out pretty solid, honestly, with, like I said, with Jason having his PTSD from Slade almost dying, and then going to Crane to find a drug solution, of which it's stupid that they made Jason a freaking druggie, of which just gets solved somehow, some way, and then is never brought up again. Yeah, I mean, happy juice or whatever they were freaking using shows up and then it goes away like that. And then it goes to like post-apocalypse. It doesn't make sense, dude. Wait, did they actually solve that? I don't think they necessarily solved that because the water gets poisoned with the happy stuff that makes you go freaking insane, and then I don't think they solved that. I think there's still crazy shit in the water, and that's what the hell? Titans, you wrapped up a bunch of storylines that you introduced in the last 3 episodes, and then you don't. Did you solve? Can someone correct me if I'm wrong? Did they actually solve that? I can't remember. The fuck? Okay, regardless, whatever. Oh my god, this show is so fucking dumb. But yeah, honestly, Jonathan Crane could have been any other villain that isn't like Bane or super themed. Like, it could have been the Penguin, for fuck's sake. Like, this was not specifically Scarecrow. Hell, he doesn't even wear his mask, and like fear toxin is used like once, maybe. I don't even remember. God damn it, this show is ass. Another thing rushed is Tim Drake. Tim shows up in the first episode, then a couple other episodes after a big break of not seeing him. He's not even like a character that he's not even like the main character that we're focusing on getting his POV and learning about the Titans stuff, which I think would have been really interesting, was having a bigger focus on trying to join the Titans from the outside. But they don't do that. Like, Tim Drake does nothing but be a freaking stalker. He doesn't wear a Robin suit, by the way. He doesn't even have a homemade Robin suit. But he is a good detective, and he also dies and then comes back to life. But what I did like was Barbara Gordon. She was cast really well as an older Barbara Gordon. The actress does a fantastic job of being being more like Oracle in the wheelchair, a little more cynical and tired of Bruce's shit. And great chemistry with Brendan Thwaites, Dick Grayson. I really, really like them together, and I would really like to see her pop up more, because Dick was actually happy in this season a couple of times, which is freaking amazing, because he's never happy, even though he really should be. Yeah, I got no complaints about her. She does great. Oracle thing, like I said earlier, kind of ridiculous. But before I get into like tearing everything apart, like I said, Brendan Thwaites does great once again with the material he is handed. His Nightwing is pretty good. I enjoy it. I think the suit's a little clunky, but I think he's about to get more upbeat. He started more upbeat this season, and he ended more upbeat. So I think we're getting somewhere with a happy Nightwing, kind of more jokester-ish. I kind of see Nightwing and Spider-Man in the same kind of light, where they make more jokes and the more acrobatic. I mean, and they are. So I hope we kind of get more acrobatic scenes, just without really shit CGI. Garfield Logan, Beast Boy. I do not remember his actor's name. He does good. But the material he is given is not. Again, he at the start has this struggling thing where he's talking to Raven when she's not there, and then that kind of goes away, and he's also trying to figure out how to do more animals, and he only ever turns into a bat at the very end. So there's nothing with that storyline. That kind of just disappears, and even when Raven shows back up, he's not like, oh my god, I missed you so much. It's just, god, they finished so many storylines that they started, and then like at the end, and then but didn't finish any that they started with, if that makes sense. I know I've said that already, but Jason Todd, I do actually like. Unlike Cole, I do like Curran as Jason. I think he does really well. I really did not like the drug use kind of shit. That was kind of dumb. But I like him. I think he'll do well, and I think he'll grow a little bit more into it. I think we just need. Would really like to see the Bat family kind of come together more, because now we've got the three boys and Oracle, kind of. So we got that. I would really like to see him as the more rebellious kind of brother. So fingers crossed that we do get a good little Bat family there. So yeah, sorry Cole, I do actually like this guy. But yeah, anything else other than the total misunderstanding of the Red Hood storyline? There is a bigger misunderstanding of death. Now, death in the comic books really means nothing most of the time. Most recently, who was killed? Was it Tim or Dick? 'Cause, I mean, both of them died in the comics. Kind of. Dick was shot through the head, should have been dead, but decided to have memory loss. Tim Drake was shot to nothingness to the point where Jor-El saved him, I think. I don't know. Alfred's dead now. Damien's on an island where you can die 3 times. But death means nothing in this universe. In total, 4 not including the Joker, people die this season, and then 4 come back to life. I'm not even shitting you. 4 people come back to life after 4 people die. Hawk is the only one who does not come back to life. So, in terms of deaths this season, we've got Hawk, we've got Jason Todd, Hawk, Tim Drake, and Dick Grayson. All of them die. And from last season, we had the death of Donna Troy by electrocution from a ferry ride. And then who come back to life is Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, and Donna Troy. Wow! So fucking stupid. Dick gets shot in the neck, like, second to last episode, and is brought back the last episode, like the same episode. Jason Todd is killed the first episode and brought back unofficially in the first episode, but shows back up the second episode. Tim Drake dies 1 episode and comes back the next one. Donna Troy's the only one that had a death that was more permanent than fucking Jason Todd. Yikes. I really think they should have killed Jason off at the very start of this season and then teased him coming back at the end. I don't think they should have done the Under the Red Hood storyline. They should have saved that for season 4. That's what I think. But they just had the Lazarus Pit, and yeah, death means nothing. And to prove my point even more, a bomb goes off in a tower, releasing some kind of poisonous gas, which isn't really explained. Again, another storyline that just kind of fucking happens. And, like, what is it? They say 500 to 1,000 people might be dead, and they bring them all back to life with the Lazarus Pit by turning it into a storm and having purple rain, of which the Lazarus isn't even purple. It's blue in the pit, and then it's purple in the sky. This season doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. It's fucking shit. But yeah. Every Thursday I woke up and watched that in the morning just to be disappointed thoroughly. Honestly, it's a great lesson in how not to write a story. I've certainly taken my tips from it, and I hope you have too. Now, this isn't specifically a breakdown or analysis of it, but it's just kind of my thoughts. And I don't think I have anything other. Oh wait, I do not like Bruce Wayne in this show. I don't like him. I think they A, casted too old, and B, he's not a good person. Like, I see what they're trying to do, make Bruce not want to be alone, so he always has like his eye on who could be the next Robin. But I mean, like, he's doing it literally 2 days or a week after Jason Todd's death. Like, who's gonna be the next Robin? It's disrespectful, honestly. And because Batman, the best interpretations of Batman are that he's a tough dad, but he's a good dad. And I talked a lot about this in the Robin tier list, where it shows Batman doesn't want Robin to be him, and he already knows that. He wants him to be better and kind of move on from like the best version of Batman. And that's not prevalent here. Also, he never suits up as Batman. It's just Bruce Wayne. So, yeah. I don't like this Batman. I don't like this world, but I'll keep watching it for you guys to tell you not to watch it, or to watch it, or skip a season, or whatever. I don't know. Comic Conquest, I gotta talk about this shit. But, watch Young Justice. It's really good so far. Alright, that's my review. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't watch this show. Don't watch it. Don't waste your time. Also, just to avoid any comments of this, no, Comic Conquest has not broken up. We're still doing shit together. Cole just didn't watch this garbage, so I did it by myself, so back off.